Today I'll explain why early circular loops were dangerous and how clothoid loops solved the problem. When most people picture a roller coaster loop, they imagine a perfect circle, and early coaster designers built exactly that. But they quickly learned a hard lesson. Circular loops are brutal. As the train enters a circular loop, its speed is greatest at the bottom, where gravity has accelerated it downhill. But in a circle, the curvature is constant, so when the coaster hits the bottom of the loop, the sudden turn with no transition between flat and curved track requires a huge amount of centripetal acceleration, instantly changing your vertical acceleration from 1g to whatever the radius and speed of the loop is. That demand gets passed directly onto the riders as a spike in normal force, the force that the riders feel pushing them into their seats, and it's not uncommon for these forces to exceed 7 or 8 times your body weight when built this way. At best, it's uncomfortable, and at worst, it can cause injury or loss of consciousness. Then comes the top of the loop. The train is slower here from gravity, and yet because the loop is still curved the same way, the centripetal acceleration required is still high. But now there's not enough speed to produce it naturally. This makes the train prone to creating a feeling of falling out. Either way, the physics are fighting against comfort and safety. The real issue is that a circular loop doesn't adapt. The force demands don't scale properly with the train's speed, and that's where clothoid loops come in. A clothoid, also called a Euler spiral, isn't shaped like a circle. Instead, its radius gradually changes. The instantaneous radius of curvature at the point at the very beginning of the loop approaches infinity to create a smooth transition from the flat track before the loop to avoid a sudden change in acceleration. At the top, the curvature is tight because the train is moving slowly and only a small centripetal force is needed. As the train descends and speeds up, the loop widens. The turn becomes more gradual, which keeps the required acceleration, and therefore the normal force, within a tolerable, smaller, more comfortable range with smooth transitions between different g-force intensities. This changing radius is not random. It's intentionally designed to match the coaster speed at every point. Because centripetal acceleration is proportional to the square of velocity divided by radius, if you adjust the radius to match change in speed, you keep the acceleration, and thus the normal force, smooth and safe, and the centripetal acceleration doesn't suddenly vary dangerous amounts. That's why clothoid loops revolutionize roller coaster design. They distribute g-forces gradually, they prevent sudden spikes in force and creating a more comfortable and thrilling ride, and they made high-speed inversions possible without crushing riders. The forces feel thrilling, not punishing. Riders stay safely in contact with the track and experience moments of weightlessness at the top, all while remaining well within safe limits. Clothoid loops were the perfect physics-based solution to a real engineering problem. By shaping the track to reflect the natural dynamics of motion, engineers turned something unsafe into something smooth, exciting, and perfectly engineered for thrill.